Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bullhucker podcast. I'm Moose Lundstrom.
And I'm Adam Vokey.
What's up, Mr. Vokey?
Not a lot. How are you?
Something very weird's happening today.
What is that?
You look naked without a hat on, by the way.
I know I left it in my truck. I forgot.
You good? You all right?
Yeah, I'll be all right.
All right. Did I lose you on the microphone there?
For a second, I'm back. Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, I'll be all right.
And we are at the Bullhucker Studios in the Brush Emporium.
Yep.
Once again, my friends.
Again.
Yeah. Making this a regular thing now.
I know, it's kind of like this is our home away from home.
It's our home away from home. I'm getting lazy. I don't want to travel ever again now that we have this nice little podcast down here. And we have actually somebody of importance from the Brush Emporium today.
We do.
She's important, and she just had a birthday. Got back from Vegas, so maybe we'll hear something about that.
Yeah, sure.
Reiley Leake, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I got to ask a question right off the bat. Brandon, your brother, was on here talking all kinds of bad shit.
I saw.
And now you're back. You're here. So
Yeah.
are we going to do that today? We're going to badmouth Brandon?
Yeah.
I'm in. All right.
Of course.
You've known these kids for a long time.
I have. I've known their parents for a really long time. Your mom was actually in my wedding.
Oh.
She was one of the bridesmaids.
Was she really?
Yeah, she's one of Marty's bridesmaids. So my ex-wife and your mom worked together at the Fort Morgan Times.
Oh, okay.
When I delivered the MTR, your mom was my boss. So
Delivered what?
The MTR is the Morgan Times Review. It came out on Saturdays.
Real quick before you go on, I will say, since you just turned 21, I'll let you pick the booze today.
Yes.
We're drinking Mike's Freezes, right?
Yes.
Hey, salud. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right. I got the pink one because I think you're poking at me.
It matches your shirt.
I was just going to say, I could have asked for that one.
So.
Yeah, that's all kinds of not bad. Seltzery, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can tell by the look on your face you enjoy it.
It's okay. Have you ever had a seltzer? You're not a drinker, but
I have. I've had I've tried them, but
I tried a White Claw for the first time because Ed Goff's like, you gotta try it. They're so good, bro. And Ed was so full of shit, bro. They're not good.
No, not at all.
They taste like air a little bit.
Air
with flavor thrown at them.
Yeah. It drove by the flavor, but never actually stopped to get the
exactly.
Yeah, that's what it was.
He got crop dusted by flavor.
right. So, but yeah, I interrupted you. You're talking about how you knew Reiley and Brandon.
Yeah. So yeah, it was through my ex-wife. When she actually moved back up here to Fort Morgan, the apartment she was getting ready to move into wasn't ready, so she actually stayed with your parents for a while.
Oh wow, okay.
So yeah, I've known your mom and dad since. I think Aaron, is that your oldest sister?
Karen.
Well, Karen, and then Aaron.
No, Karen Haley.
Haley, that's it. Why am I saying
Wow,
Aaron?
you do know the family well.
Who the hell is Aaron? I have no idea. Haley, yes.
I have no idea where it is.
But yeah, Haley was a little thing. So, yeah, and you and Brandon weren't even in the picture at that point.
Yep.
So, because this was 2001.
Okay, I came a year later.
So yeah. So
2002. Yeah, that would be 21. Jeez, so old. Yeah. But some kind of 6 degrees of bacon stuff. It's not really like that, but I have no better term to use it for. Your mom's actually the one who gave the green light to this podcast to begin with. I came to her with the idea to do the Sands Theater, and she was all for it. And she's actually the one that let us in the Sands Theater to start doing this podcast. So thank you, Teresa. And and your dad's basically his idea was to have a podcast studio here too, so your family's been actually pretty much part of this podcast since the beginning. So
awesome!
It only took us 130 episodes to get you on, so that's
I don't know.
That tells you where you're ranking the scheduling with this guy.
I am a horrible human being. What are you gonna do? So Reiley, you work here at the Brush Emporium. You're kind of one of the managers at night.
Yep.
How you liking it so far?
I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like your family owns a business, you know. It's a lot of responsibility, though.
Right.
It is.
You guys are way busier than you thought you'd ever be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see it. You can see
it. Cut her face oh, hell yeah.
Well, I mean, like I told you yesterday, Dana's quit her job and she's doing this full time now. You know what I mean? And it'll still be busy because she has 15 things going on always. You know, that woman. She's just a highly effective or efficient person. So that's the penance she pays, I guess. You know what I mean? Is 13 jobs. But, this place, I know when they opened up, they thought you guys knew you'd do well.
Yeah.
But not this well.
No, I mean, I thought it would take... So, I previously worked at the bar as well.
Right.
And it took a while to, get our name out there and get people to come in and check us out. This place, it was right off the bat. It didn't take any time at all for people to be like, oh, let's go check it out.
Right.
And it just went skyrocket.
Right.
So...
I know you guys had you had this set up where you had the nice ovens behind the counter and stuff, and then like it just all hell broke loose, and so you had to make like a new whole little area.
We're like, we need more ovens, more fridges, more freezers. We need more everything.
We need more kitchen.
Yeah. Everything. Yeah.
I had walked down here when we first made the studio, and you had one freezer, and I was telling everybody another one's gonna show up here pretty quick because they just can't keep up. So that's awesome. That's also a great segue. He taught me that word many years ago. Segue into saying that we welcome to the Brush Emporium. So if you haven't come checked out the Emporium, please come check it out. 210 Clayton Street, owned by really great people. This woman's family right here, and it's awesome, man. Upstairs they have so many cool things. It's up to 38 vendors, correct?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? That's the last count. 38 different vendors. That's 38 different people doing stuff up there. You can come check it all out. They have pizza, ice cream, wings. Now you're doing the
funnel cakes.
Funnel cakes.
That's pretzels.
Right. Oh, that's forgot with the pretzels. I always forget the pretzels. And the frozen yogurt.
Yep.
So Lizzie, frozen yogurt, because it's slapping. She taught me that too. See?
Slapping.
Hey, she's young because she's laughing because I'm using that word. That's Lizzie Shasso's word. I got her name right. So is that funny?
Yeah, a little bit.
Did I not use it correctly?
You would say it slaps.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're going to do a lot of that this podcast, I think. So
I go through this all the time when I have my girls. They're 14 and 18. It's like they're speaking a different language when they're with me.
Right.
I'm like, what are you even talking about?
Gage Stroh had to teach me what drip meant.
Yeah.
I mean,
that shirt is pretty drippy, so.
You liking it?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Because Reiley, you're much younger than us, and when you were born, I'd been in high school for a solid decade, and I got to tell you, growing up, drip was not something that was cool at all. That's something you avoided very much. So.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's good now. It's good now.
It's good now. But that's why anybody at Generation X, you say drip, they're like, ooh. That's why they avoid your ass. So.
Well, there was one night I asked Harley, I'm like, I don't even know what we were doing. We had got to eating something. I go, what did you think of it? She's like, it was mid.
Yep.
And I looked at it, I was texting my sister, and I go, Harley said it was mid, which I think that's old, like the new version of it's okay.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Correct, yeah.
There's a guy on TikTok who makes fun of his son and acts like his son and does all the new terminology and shit. I have no clue what the fuck he's ever saying.
Yeah, it's...
Bro. He says bro all the time, too.
Bro.
That's my old 70-year-old father, my burnout hippie dad. He says the word. He calls his own mother bro. He calls everybody bro. So nice to know that came back around, you know?
Yep.
So we have a young person on the podcast that we can learn today, Adam.
Yeah, we can, I feel like I need to take notes.
But before we go any farther, if you're new to the podcast, welcome to the Bullhucker Podcast. In this podcast, what we do is we bring on a guest. Today's Reiley Leake. Reiley's going to tell us 3 stories about her life. Now, here's the kicker. Only 2 of these stories are true. One's actually either borrowed, she all the way made it up, or it's a true story with an embellished ending. Now, without going into great detail, Reiley, which one is it? Did you borrow this story? Did you all the way make it up? Or is it half true, half false?
Half true, half false.
Half true, half false.
Yep.
By far the most popular way to do it. Did you have a hard time coming up with stories?
2 of them are really easy.
Right.
But when I was trying to think of a third one, I was like, I just don't feel like I've had a lot of monumental events happen in my life.
Yeah.
So, but I finally got one.
Was the lie tough?
Yes.
Because your brother said you're a phenomenal liar.
Okay, yeah. So
About that.
I want to talk about that because
your story did not slap. Your story did not slap.
You know, I first started lying when me and him were younger,
right.
And we were both getting in trouble. He just couldn't lie. He had a very hard time keeping a straight face.
Really?
So I was like, let me take on the burden and tell our parents not the truth.
You're so brave.
You just keep your mouth shut and I will handle it. And I mean, it just carried on. Saved our asses a lot, though.
It sounds like your brother.
It sounds like it's Braden's fault that you're good at lying.
Brandon, you ungrateful son of a bitch. That's what that is right there. So, because he came out, he's like, she's a great liar. She's fantastic. Like, he's bragging about it almost.
I mean, I'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. He is younger, though.
Yeah. 2 years.
Okay. All right. That's all right. He's barely 18. So you just got back from. You know what? We're going to talk about Vegas here in a little bit. Let's get back to the podcast. You ready to tell some stories?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to telling some stories. You ready to hear some stories, Adam?
I am.
These stories are going to slap. I already know that, dude.
Hell yeah.
Did they do it right?
Hell yeah. Good job. Good job.
All right. You want to name them off, bud?
Yeah, we got Chromebook Conundrum, Body Betrayal, and Tootsie Roller Coaster.
Do you want to pick or you want me to pick, bud?
I'll go. I'll do, I want to do Tootsie Roller Coaster.
Okay, so first off, do you guys like my names? I had to come up with clever names for them.
I do. Well, we'll see once we hear the story, but I like them so far, yes. The middle one is very, very intriguing.
I know, that's what I was just looking at, too.
Yeah, so I'll probably keep that one to last. But
I kind of figured.
But Tootsie I didn't get the roller coaster. That's why I make Adam read him. He's actually literate one between two. You know what I mean?
All right, so for certain purposes, I will keep names out of them, but I was a junior in high school, and it was right around graduation time, and me and my friends went to a graduation party. Obviously, it's like close to the 4th of July, so they've got the red, white, and blue Smirnoffs out already. We get a big case of those, and we go out to this graduation party. It's like 8 o'clock. We start pounding them, and the party hasn't really even started yet, but we're all pretty drunk.
Nice.
So a bunch of the people at that party were smoking, and for some reason, like, my car was with a couple other cars, and people were like, let's go out and like smoke. Like
get high or smoking?
Yes,
okay,
get high.
Right, okay.
And so I was like, you know what? It's party time. Like, why not? We'll go out to my car. I wasn't smoking or anything because I was drinking.
Right.
So, I just went out there with them. And then I went out there with one of my friends who, was on my softball team. And we were both drunk. And we sat in my car to start talking. And she goes, do you want a Tootsie Roll? And I'm like, of course I want a Tootsie Roll.
Right.
Like, I love Tootsie Rolls, you know?
Has the answer ever been no to that question from anybody
yeah.
anywhere? Yeah.
And so, we both eat a Tootsie Roll, and then we go back to the party. And one of my other friends, he's like, let's go out to your car, let's smoke. So we go out to my car. I don't remember anything after that. So what I was told was I passed out in the back of my car. Some other girls from the grade above me had come out to like check because we had been out there for quite a while.
Right.
And he was like stuck in between because like my child lock was on, I guess, in my car. Right. And he couldn't get out because I was like sitting on the outside and he was on the middle. And they were like, what's going on? And he was like, I don't know, she passed out. And so they like got me out of the car. Brandon was at this party because he was my DD.
Right.
And they went and got my brother. He comes out. He starts freaking out. He's, I don't know, 15, 16 years old. He just started driving and everything.
Yeah.
And he's like, we need to like get her awake. We need to get her conscious.
Right.
And so he starts like manhandling me. And is like trying to make me throw up. He's trying to make me like just wake up.
Right.
And he said I ended up throwing up. It's a gross word, but I did.
Yeah.
And took me home. Had like he had taken 2 of my friends home as well. And then he had to sneak me back into my dad's house because my dad did not know that we were at this graduation party.
So you're on 17, 18 at this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 17. And he got me in bed, everything. This was all before midnight. So
wow.
it was a quick night for me.
Hey, nighttime Larry is the same way, but I get it on quick, you know what I'm saying? Why prolong this shit? Yeah.
But I wake up the next morning, feel amazing. I was like... I think it was like 7 o'clock, woke up, everybody downstairs that had slept over was still sleeping, like my brother was still sleeping. I was like, wow, like, guys, it's a beautiful morning, let's go outside, let's start doing stuff, you know, and then I get like, text messages, Snapchats, like, everyone's like, are you okay? Like, are you safe? Are you good? Like, last night was not. Oof. And I'm like, what happened? You know? Turns out.
You're my spirit animal right now. I still connect with this story. Go ahead.
Turns out that Tootsie Roll wasn't edible.
Oh, I was going to ask.
So I ended up getting very crossfaded and just knocked out.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was an eventful night. Right. I don't remember any of it, but from what I was told, it was a very eventful night. Yeah. So
that's the joys of being young, Reiley. Yep. Like that's and see, that's where your generation has to be careful. Our generation didn't have that kind of shit. We had what was called ditchweed. Are you familiar?
No.
This is horrible weed that you have to pick the stems and the seeds out of.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was work. Okay, we had to work to get high. You know, we didn't have stuff like edibles and pornography just at our fingertips. We had to work for all of it, man. You had to be a sneaky bitch to have this kind of stuff. But when you told that story, I gotta be honest. You said I woke up, I felt amazing. Mm-hmm. Now this is a journeyman that's been down this road too many times. I thought she's still drunk.
That's what I was thinking too.
Oh, girl, you're still hammered. That's why. Because after the last comedy show, I had a few too many Jack and Cokes. I don't drink too much anymore here and there, you know. But I still, when I start drinking, I think I have my own tolerance. Mm-hmm. You know, like my tolerance hasn't went away. You know, I can still handle this shit. Dude, it was a rough night, man. I was driven home. But I woke up and I thought, man, I feel pretty damn good. And I did feel pretty good because I don't think I was quite sobered up yet. And so about noon, it was not good. So, yeah. What do you think about that one, folks?
That's good.
So that's a typical high school party. But you got to be careful being a female, too, at that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's good you had your brother there. You know? And you were friends or no?
Well, the only reason I had my brother there was because the night before we went to another graduation party, and he was the DD for me and two of my other friends.
Right.
And he ended up getting plastered.
Attaboy.
Plastered.
Nice.
And I had to be the DD because my two other friends were already drunk.
Oh, no.
So I was like sitting in the party.
Right.
Like this, because I couldn't drink.
Right.
And I was so mad at him, so I forced him to go to that party with me.
Right.
And I was like, do not drink, not even one drop of alcohol tonight, or I will kick your ass.
I'll kick the shit out of you.
Because this is my night, and it was my night. It was my night.
The crazy part about this is now you're relating to him.
I was just sitting here thinking, that sounds so much like us when we first started doing the comedy. It's like, all right, you drink for this show, and then I'll drink for the next show. We had to keep track of our headliner, you know. And by halfway through the show, I'd be having a couple beers. He'd come over. He's like, "Well, let's do a shot." I'm like, "Fuck." I just put my beer on the bar. I'm like, I'm done with that. I guess I'm DD again for the 17th month in a row.
Consistency. That's the most important thing about life.
Yes,
right?
consistency is key.
I remember my little brother. I worked at a nightclub in Pueblo, and they had college night. Jesse was old enough to get in, and Chris was not. Jesse just turned 21. Chris was 20. So I get Chris in, but I tell Jesse, do not let him drink because I work here, and they're going to know that they're going to think that he got the booze from me because they know he's my brother. So Jesse goes, I'll keep an eye on him. Go 2 hours ahead. Chris walks to the bar, and he is so shit-faced. I'm like, God damn it, Jesse. So we back to Dad's house. I'm going to start scrapping that night because I was so pissed off. Cause I'm like, they're going to just assume I gave it to him. I don't know where he got it. He showed up drunk. I don't know what the deal was. So I get it like that. It's like, dude, that we had a deal, you know? Now
yeah, exactly.
And one last story about that. I worked at Wendy's in high school. Lynn Lee. What's up, Leonard? Love you. We gave that woman so much shit. She was our boss. So much shit. We had our first show. She showed up, and her grandson, Bryce, was underage. And they said, he can't drink. He can't drink, Lynn. But you know what she did? She got him hammered on purpose just to spite me. Right? That's what it was. So I'm like, is he drunk? She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Please don't drink. Is that what we're... This is your logic, Mr. Lunchmore. I thought that's what it meant, is please don't drink while you're at work. And I'm like, touche. All right. That was a great story. That's a good high school story. It's a very relatable story. That's why I like it. That's cool. Because there's very few people that are watching this right now that can't kind of relate to a time in life when that happened to them, you know, where you just kind of passed out. My buddy Tony Cordova passed out in the back seat of my Mustang, and like on the floor.
Yeah.
And if you were seeing, there's not much floor, and he got stuck in there. Like his shoulder blades got. I don't know. We got to yank his ass out. So, all right, we got 2 more left. We have Chromebook Conundrum and Body Betrayal. I know which one I want to hear last, so let's listen to the other one. Let's hear Chromebook Conundrum.
Okay, so this is another high school story. Me and my friend were in ag class, and this is like right after fall going into winter time, so we had just finished softball going into basketball. And every year after softball, you know, we had made it to state that year, and I don't remember exactly, but we had lost somewhere in the top like 5, I believe. So we did really good that year. Right. But we were, you know, all happy because we did so good. And our coach was very proud of us, you know. And we were like, you know what? Party tonight, you know, like everything. And so a bunch of us went to my dad's house because, you know, my dad's a cool dude.
Yeah, he is.
Shout out to you, Gilbert. Yeah. He, you know, he was like, as long as you guys give me your keys or you have a BD, then you are good to leave. But, you know, if you're not, you're staying here. Or if you don't drink, then, you know. But we had our fun that night, whatever. We went back to school the following Monday. And me and my friend were sitting in ag class. And we were decided to get on our Chromebooks and have a little chat while the teacher was teaching and talk about that night, just because some stuff I guess happened and she wanted to tell me. So we started talking, and she had brought up the fact that, or I think I was the one that brought up the party, and she was like, yeah, that night I had a really weird dream. And she had said something about someone dying in that dream. And so that flagged the principal on the computer.
What? They can do that?
Yeah. If
like keywords will like,
so like suicide, that's a big one. If suicide is like put into the Chromebooks or anything, like one time I was doing a project for I think it was student council, and it was on suicide awareness. And because I had looked up something with the word suicide in it, my Chromebook like sent me a message and was like, do you need to talk? Please contact this number and everything like that. And then I got called in to the office because I had searched that word up, and they were like, are you okay? You know, so yeah, like the Chromebooks are...
I had no idea they did.
Yeah, you had daughters in school. That's why I kind of thought you might know. So,
and I mean, especially now, like that's a really big like thing. It's a really big problem for kids in school and everything, just because. But so yeah, the Chromebooks are like intense.
They issue you the Chromebook. It's not your Chromebook, right?
Yeah, they issue them.
So okay, so they're all hooked into the school server. I had no clue they did that.
Me neither.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I think it's good. It has its ups and downs. I mean, there's pros and cons, I guess.
Yeah.
But
how do you feel about it?
I mean, so I learned that day that the like principal and AD can see any conversation that happens on the Chromebooks. I mean, it is school property.
Sure.
So I understand.
Yeah.
They usually don't. I was told that they usually don't look at any conversations unless something is said that like flags them. And suicide was mentioned, so it flagged them.
Okay. That's
where we messed up.
Right.
Because if we wouldn't have said anything like that, then they wouldn't have even checked that conversation.
Right.
So, but I mean, yeah, it's good and bad because, I mean, you're trying to have like a private conversation, but they can still see everything.
Right.
So.
But anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, you're fine.
I've never heard anything like that. That's blowing my mind right now.
Either.
Yeah. So she had mentioned something about someone dying in her dream. And we went on with our day. We got, I think it was like 5th period or something like that. And we get called into the office. we're not in the same class or anything. All right, we might have been. I don't remember. But we get called into the office, and they're like, sit down. And we're like, what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
And they pull up our conversation on the, like, their whiteboard or whatever, their screen.
Right.
And we're like, oh my God. Like, oh my God. 1, party, drinking, underage kids.
Oh, no.
2, suicide in a dream.
Right.
They took that suicide thing really far, in my opinion, just because, like, it was a dream and it was mentioned that it was only a dream. But they were about to call that kid in to the office to be like, do you know anything about this? And we were like, no, like, you don't have to do this. This was a dream that she had in her sleep, like, everything like that. So they are like, this is not okay. You know, like, going on and on about everything like that. We had to call our parents because, of everything. And I called my dad. She called her mom. And then, her punishment was she wasn't able to, so she was a student council, vice president, something like that.
Officer of some kind, yeah.
And she could no longer speak on stage and like events and everything. She wasn't doing any sports at the moment. So she kind of got it a little bit easier, I think. My punishment was I had to sweep and mop the basketball court before every practice. I had to help the managers pack and unpack the bus before every traveling game. I could not go on stage for any student council events because I was also in student council. Could not do that. And then we both got 20 hours of community service and then I also had to sit the first 3 basketball games of the season.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you ask him how Hitler was doing? I mean, obviously, who they were reporting to.
So, was this because you guys were at the party or because she had a dream about someone dying?
The party.
Okay.
Yep.
I was like...
Yeah, high school athletes and drinking, that's always been kind of
they've always kind of frowned on that.
Yeah, but I think they've always turned a blind eye to it back in the day. Kind of, you know?
Yeah.
Well, depending on who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate to say that, but it's the truth. So, that's great. That's blowing my mind they can do that. It makes sense, though. Sure. It's a school-issued Chromebook, but I mean, man, you got to be careful with that shit.
I don't think my girls have school-issued stuff. I know Harley don't.
Right.
Because she has a laptop that I got her.
Right.
But I don't know if Brinley does or not.
That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
So, I didn't know they did that. I really didn't.
Me neither.
Suicide has gotten to be bigger. Like in this northeastern Colorado corner of the state has gotten horrible in the past 7 years, and they don't know why. So I remember Chief Boston's here. He was telling us at the city council that they're looking into it. Like they're professionals looking into it because they don't know why. It's just there's been a bunch of suicides in this corner of the state, and you know it's not that bad here. You know. But, it's well, I don't know. Well, because this generation has more, you have more issues. You have more dangers than we did.
They're like exposed to a lot more stuff.
The internet's, I mean, you can't understand what it's like not to have it around.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And for like us, I remember a time when I didn't have a cell phone.
Oh, yeah, me too.
You know, you would drive these long distances hard, Reiley. You'd go... The things you do without a cell phone. No one knew where the hell you were most of the time, you know? If you drove down the middle of nowhere, you hiked your ass somewhere with a fucking telephone, you know? That's what happens, so.
Do you know what Rand McNally is?
No.
It's a map.
It's like an atlas. It's a book of maps.
Yeah.
But, when I first moved to Fort Morgan, it was like in 2001.
Yeah.
Even then, we didn't have like cell phones or any of that. I worked for Pizza Hut. And so I had a Fort Morgan phone book in my vehicle because they had maps of each town in the back of the phone book.
Oh, sure.
So I'd use that map to figure out where the hell I was going.
Right. Do you remember working for Budweiser? Maybe before you started, we had pagers.
Yeah, I had a pager for a couple years.
You had to call in once an hour to the office to make sure there was nothing waiting for, like, messages waiting for you for like customers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is nuts. So.
And then, like, when you're out in Ray or Holyoke or, like, way out east somewhere, you had to call the warehouse before your last, when you got finished with your last stop, you had to call in before you started back just to make sure that there wasn't anything you needed to take care of out there.
Was there a lot of bullying, like cyberbullying when you were in school? Was that a big thing? Is that something that blew out of proportion?
I mean, personally, no. I never had, and I never experienced it. But we had a few, assemblies about cyberbullying, bullying in general.
Can you get closer to the microphone?
Yeah, sorry.
That's good.
But, yeah, I mean, we had quite a few assemblies from when I was in middle school all the way through high school. Right.
And it's tough because, I mean, literally you can't get away from it.
And the thing is, so when you go into high school as a freshman, the seniors, if you play sports especially, the seniors initiate you, they do that stuff. And it got to when I was a freshman, they weren't allowed to because the staff felt like it was hazing. And I mean, to a point, to an extent, I could see it be hazing, but
what did they do exactly? What was the...
I mean, so for softball, all they did was make us sing the school song. Right. You had to know it, or they would pull harmless little pranks in the past, but they never got to do it with us because you teachers wouldn't allow it. If they caught you doing anything to a freshman, you were going to the office.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Was there initiation when you were in school?
Oh yeah, there was some stuff. So
the school song, I remember that. To this day, I still remember that damn song.
Really?
Oh, of course, But that's how I met one of my best friends in the world, Tim Dussault. What's up, Timmy? He was a freshman, and we made him stand on his hands and sing the song, and his arms gave out, and he landed on his head, and I thought, man, we fucked this one up. You know what I mean? If you see him on the short bus, that's on us. My bad, Timmy. You know what I'm saying? Because he ate shit hard, man. But yeah, that was a big thing. That was, but then again, different time. So
yep,
different generations. So.
And it sucks that it's come to that because part of me is stop being so soft, but then the other part of me is some people are genuinely think it's wrong to do that.
Yeah,
so
I don't know. And some people take it too far.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And those are the ones that cause the problem. You know what I mean, it's not. It should be done in fun, but some people do it to be shitty and vile.
Yeah.
So that's tough, man. Absolutely tough. Well, what did you think about that one, Vogue?
It was a good one.
I really liked it because I got to learn something.
I was going to say I learned something in that one, so it was good.
I wonder how common that is for schools. I don't know how many other schools get Chromebooks and stuff like that. I know Brush has done it for a while.
Yeah, I think I had a Chromebook from 8th grade on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do they just give you one, or do you get a new one every year? How's that work?
They just rotate them. Every class gets so when we first started doing them, every class had 28, 30 Chromebooks. Okay. And because that's the max amount of kids that were allowed in the class. Okay. And then as time went on, we each ended up getting our own Chromebook that we could take home to do our schoolwork and stuff, because keeping the Chromebooks there, you couldn't do anything. Right. Because they switched from paper to technology. Right. So, yeah, they ended up giving us each our own Chromebook at the beginning of the year. And we had to, it was just like a textbook. You had to get it and then turn it back in. Right. So
real quick, we didn't have Chromebooks, obviously. So what you'd have to do if you wanted, Adam and I want to have a conversation in class, is you wrote a note and you pass it along. And there's usually 4 or 5 people between you, right? So that's 4 or 5 people that you got to hope don't read your damn notes.
Or mess up the handoff so the teacher sees.
Or add their own little spin on your note. You know what I mean? Yeah. Adam, what are you doing up to school? So I can see you naked. I mean, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So they just,
really?
It's like my handwriting. So I say pen, you freak. But that's this is generation shit here. So yeah, you know what? I wish we did have Chromebooks. That would have slapped. Did it work? Did it work? All right. Exactly.
The next word is yeet.
Yeet. That's an old one though, right?
It's an older one. Yeah.
What's the big one now? What's the?
Oh, now that you ask me, I can't think of them.
Sure.
But
you know what? Put them in the comments below, and we'll see if we can. I'll look this shit up.
We'll do a little quiz type thing. You put the word in there, and we'll try to figure out what the hell it means.
That's right. I might put that on TikTok. As a matter of fact, here's going to be the TikTok video for this. You send us the new language. We'll see if we can figure it out. 'Cause we're all old people. Well, we're old people. This is a young one, so she can pray.
The girls and I were going somewhere, and the girls were trying to teach me like all this stuff, like drip and slap and yeet and I don't know what all. And so then Harley looks up like words from the 90s, and she's like, and I'm like, run through those. I'll tell you whatever damn one of them means. Yeah. And she's all, bodacious? I'm like, no, that's bodacious is what that is. She's all, what the hell is bodacious?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like bodacious and radical and just all kind of, and I was like, yeah, this is that, and that's that. And she's like,
and it's crazy how terminology, like some sticks, like the word gross.
Yeah.
It's a count of 144 or something, right?
Right.
It's a gross of something. That's not what we know it as, you know?
Yeah.
It's gross. It's disgusting. It's unlikable, you know? It's gross, you know?
Okay, here's one. It's funny because it's been going, like, this word is it's not really new, but Brooklyn, Dana's daughter, she came to me one day and
What's up, Brooklyn?
She was like, so the word is rancid. What does rancid mean?
rotten.
Yeah.
So she's been using it for weeks. Right. She's just like, that's so rancid. Like, this is rancid. Don't ever do that again. That's rancid. And she didn't know that word meant gross, rotting, nasty. Like, she was just using it.
But she got it right, kind of, right?
I mean, kind of, yeah. I'm sometimes,
unless she's like,
no, but...
that outfit is rancid.
But she comes to me one day at work and she's like, Reiley, did you know that rancid meant like gross and nasty and like rotting? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, I didn't. And I'm like, what did you think it meant?
Right,
like,
right.
You've been using it for forever in sentences
right.
to people.
Right.
And she's like, I don't know. I just used it. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Okay.
It's your sister. So whatever. You know what? But watch, it's going to make Rancid's going to be a fucking thing.
I was going to say, that's going to be one of the new ones. That means like...
Brooklyn from Brush. That's who started that Rancid shit. You're welcome, America. Blame Brooklyn for the Rancid talk. So, but that's, it's, we should do that one of these days. Bring on a youngin' and we'll throw terms off each other and see who wins that one. So, because there was a lot of crazy shit in like the bomb.com. Everything was the bomb.com.
Yeah.
Right? It was great. Where'd that come from?
I guess it was when websites first started.
I guess.
Like the bomb.com.
It's just the bomb.com.
Yeah, it's pretty tripendicular.
That's how we show how old we are. People do watch us on TikTok, be like, okay, well, turn this shit off. So, all right, two great ones down, man. The one I wanted to hear left, we got Body Betrayal.
Okay, so I think, 2 years ago, I had my wisdom teeth removed. Ooh. Very painful thing. Don't recommend, but it has to be done.
Right.
And I was, follow the doctor's instructions, rest, drink water, nothing through a straw,
Right.
And so I think it was like the third day, fourth day, whatever, after I got them removed, my boyfriend at the time, his parents were moving and they were like, do you want to help? And I said, sure, why not? I won't do anything to like heavy lifting wise. I won't do anything that if I start feeling tired, I'll just relax. And I felt great. Like I was ready to be doing something again. Like I'm the type of person that can't just like sit down. Like I have to be moving. I have to be doing something, which is good place to work if you are like that because you're always doing something.
Yeah.
But we were like 2 things away from being done, and then we were gonna go get food. And I was like, I can't really eat anything, but I can like drink and whatever. And I started feeling a little like weak, so I sat down and was just relaxing, waiting for them to be done. And I started getting cold. And I was like, okay, it's weird, but whatever. I just need to calm down. And so we were driving to Texas Roadhouse in Brighton.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That sounds excellent.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
And on the way there, I just started shaking. I was freezing. It felt like I was like, had been sitting outside in Antarctica for 10 minutes and like couldn't warm myself up. And then because I was shaking, I started freaking out. And then I started having a panic attack. Mm-hmm. And he had told his parents, he was like, she can't go in there. You know, we're just going to go home. Mm-hmm. And so we drove home, like however far away Brian is. And I was like, I just need to go to bed. But I couldn't warm up. I was shaking and my back had started hurting so bad. Like I could not stand.
Like spasms?
It hurt to, no, it was just like a constant like tightness. And laying down hurt too. So I had to like find a comfortable position and then try to warm up. And that night I think I had 12 blankets on me because I just could not get warm. Oof. And so I was drinking Gatorade because that was the only thing that I could, like, keep down. And I finally fell asleep. I think it was, like, close to midnight at this time. Mm-hmm. And I had finally fallen asleep. And then I woke up the next morning and I felt decent. Like, I felt a lot better than I had the night before.
Right.
And his mom was like, would you like some eggs? And I was like, you know, it's something light, something that I could, you know, handle. And so I get up and I go sit at the table. And she, like, puts the eggs in front of me, and immediately I'm like, I'm gonna puke. And so I go lay down again, and I start shaking again. And then my back starts tightening up. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? You know, like, I've never experienced anything like this before. I don't know what to do.
Right.
And so I'm, like, trying to, like, put the blankets back on me, warm up. And he's like, we just need to take you home. Like, we need, your mom needs to help you. So we drive to my house, which is, like, a couple blocks away. And I'm, like, crying at this point, freaking out again.
Right.
I don't know what to do. I can't stand up. And my mom and sister come outside, and they're like, what's going on? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just can't stop hurting. And so they're like, okay, let's try and get you in the car or in the house. So, they like lift me out and I like, am like, don't. And I throw up and I'm like, they're like, I don't know what's going on. We need to go to the emergency room.
Right.
And so we all of us rush to the emergency room. By this point, I can't walk. They're like carrying me into
Holy shit.
The emergency room. Yeah. And like my face, I'm pale, white as a ghost. And the doctor like takes a look at me. That one's actually my least favorite one.
I like it.
But
okay.
The doctor like takes a look at me and he's like, what's going on? And I'm like so weak that I just like, I'm like, I don't know. Like I can't, like, I don't want to live right now. This is how bad I hurt.
Wow.
And he was like, okay, well, we need to get like something in you. We need to look at you, like scans, everything like that. So my kidney ends up failing on me. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, I was rushed into emergency, like immediate surgery, and I had to get my kidney removed because one of my kidneys had gotten so dehydrated somehow from when I got my wisdom teeth out to 5 days later, and it was like that's what was causing my back pain.
Right.
Like I was so dehydrated that I was shaking and everything. Like, and so now I have one kidney.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I thought that was going to a place where it got infected.
Right.
And that's what happens.
I wish it would have been that.
Yeah, no, I was almost positive that's what it was because it sounded like the flu.
Yeah.
You ever had the flu, man?
Yeah.
It's not fun.
No.
Yeah, it's, I think I just had it a couple weeks ago. Maybe not that, 2-3 months ago, actually. No, not fun at all. So this age is not fun. So I woke up shaking violently
because your body already aches every day, no matter what.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, you get sick, and then just everything is worse.
Here's a little too much information. I had to pee while I was shaking violently, so I ended up peeing in the shower because I could hit that. Mm-hmm. I mean, the toilet was kind of a small bowl, so I'm doing this the whole time. Like, I just whipped the little curtain back. But I had to call to work and be like, I just peed all over my bed. I'm not even taking a shower, but I just peed in the tub, so I'm not coming in. They're like, yeah, that's okay. Just next time, Larry, you just call in sick.
Yeah, we don't need details.
Yeah, sounds like you're rancid. It's not slapping at your house. So said you got that 100% correct, man. 100% correct. So, all right. What do you think? You got one in mind?
Not really.
I do have one in mind, actually. So, what we do to decide who has to guess first is we rock, paper, scissors. Mm-hmm. How do you rock, paper, scissors?
I do the rock, paper, scissors shoot.
Man, we're getting killed.
This is like 5 in a row, man.
That's more than 5 in a row. 5 in a row that you've been here. Old Shasso was the last one. It was a 3-pumper.
Doug was 3.
And you know why? Because Doug's the only person I love anymore. I love you, Doug Shasso. Everybody else, you sons of bitches. All right, we're doing 4. Ready? I was going to do scissors too. Son of a bitch. Okay. All right. Before we start doing this, though, I do want to give one more shout out to the Brush Emporium. Once again, thank you, Brush Emporium, for letting us have this down here to do this, to put a little studio down here. I'd ask how you like the studio, but you've been here since day 1 to check it out. So
yeah,
it's been awesome. This has been so nice. It's been kind of cool having a home here. So
yeah.
Once again, if you haven't checked it out, 210 Clayton Street, come down here, support local businesses. That's what they're basically doing. They have a place down here where people who don't have enough products to have their own brick and mortar store or whatever, they rent them little spots and they can come in and sell their wares. And so you can see all the cool stuff that happens. And you said last podcast, you made a great point about not knowing all the stuff that was around here.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there was so many people in Morgan County that had like home-based businesses for stuff for sale. I mean, because when I first heard the idea, I was like, well, how many people are really going to be in there?
Yeah.
Because I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's an amazing idea. It's really cool. So.
When Dana first told me the idea, I was like, I didn't know either way. I didn't feel anything about it. I didn't know how to feel about it. And I thought, well, that might work. It's it's a shop downtown. It's a step in the right direction. And it went like wildfire, man. It's done, you guys have done so kick ass here, But great people own it. People who give a shit about this town. So that's why it's done well. People know that.
Yeah.
They deep down know that these are people, you got 2 mayors here that don't, you know what I mean? So what does that tell you?
How can you beat that?
Yeah, you can. Because to be a mayor in a town this size, it doesn't pay a lot of money. You're basically donating your time. It's charity work in a way. Yes, you're the mayor. Yes, you're going to have that title, but it's a lot of work. You know what I mean? And it's basically for free.
Yeah.
So when you have 2 mayors, there's 2 people that have really contributed to this town is my point I'm trying to make. So if you haven't checked it out, please come down and check out the Brush Emporium. Support small business, because when you don't, it goes away. And while you're in the supporting mood, please support the Bullhucker podcast. In the bottom right-hand corner of our screen is a little red dot. That's our subscribe button. When you click that, man, it's a
small click for you, but a big click for us.
Man, it's a big click for us. We really appreciate it. And that's on YouTube, obviously. I have to clarify that because someone was listening to it and they're like, I don't have the red button anywhere. I'm like, oh, that's my bad. That's for YouTube. But you can also follow us on Facebook. I always forget to tell you that. The Bullhucker Podcast, that's where we post everything's on Facebook. You'll see everything, the pictures and all the videos and everything comes out. Or check out thebullhucker.com. If you're listening to this on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Stitcher, or Spotify, please leave a rating and review, follow the podcast, and tell your friends, man. We really appreciate it. So it's growing. It's picking up steam, so that's kind of exciting, and it's been fun listening to stories, you know what I mean? And learning a lot, young one. It's been fun learning a lot. So having said that, time to make our guesses. Now, I'm going to say Chromebook Conundrum. I think that's a true story. When I first started this podcast, like I said, I've been friends with your mom for as long as I remember. Your grandmother's Betty Herbst, right?
Pat Herbst. I'm sorry. Betty
was there. That's your great aunt then.
Maybe.
Arlene's mom.
No idea.
Mom worked for... Anyway, it's anyway, I've known your family a long time. I've known your mom since she was little. We were both younger. And so anyway, sometimes I'd just sit around bullshit with Teresa when I'd see her. I'd go down to the chamber. We just bullshit for forever. And I seem to remember her telling me something about that. About you getting some weird trouble. You know what I mean? Like she wasn't mad. She just like, So she's Reiley. And and when I started, she also told me you do well at this. She was right. So she totally threw your name out there. I think body betrayal. I don't know if that's spelled right, but I don't know how to spell it. I just doesn't look right. You know what I mean?
I
No,
took my best guess.
Listen,
there you go.
Listen. It's one of those things where I don't think it's right, but I don't know how to fix it.
That's exactly where I am. I can identify a misspelled word, but I just can't spell it the right way.
I'll test my friend Google. I think body betrayal. I think that is a true story as well. You had a lot of detail into it, and you had kind of the way you told it was something that was memorable in your past. You know what I mean? It was a memory that sucked. Although it'd be easy to add a few of those things, like the back spasms or something. I don't know, but I'm gonna say that's a good and true story. Tootsie roller coaster was a fun story, but I think that was one that's part true, part false, because it'd be the easiest one to add something to. Right? Maybe Brandon was drunk, or I don't know. Maybe Brandon passed out, shit his pants. Ungrateful son of a bitch. But yeah, that's right, Brandon. I think you don't slap. I said it. I love you, buddy. Just kidding. All right, what do you think about?
I'm kind of the same as you. Like the body betrayal, I think is right. I'm not going to do a Matt Gordon like he did with your brother and check for scars.
Oh yeah,
remember he checked Brandon's knees.
Yeah.
Chromebook conundrum. See, I think that there's not a whole lot in there that I think could be changed, unless you. I was thinking it could be that one because of like the flag alert thing, but then you went into the suicide awareness deal, and I was like, well, no,
maybe so. Yeah.
That's because that's something we brought up secondary. So unless she's a really, really good liar,
right. Right.
So I think we're going to end up doubling up on this one, and I'm going to go with Tootsie Roller Coaster too.
Okay, so we're going to do both Tootsie Roller Coasters.
Yeah.
Huh? Riley, let's see that board. Let's see what you got, sister. Body betrayal. Damn it. I am horrible this year. Oh my God. I cannot buy one. What is not true? What's not true about that?
So everything was true except for the part where I had to get my kidney removed.
You have both kidneys.
I have both kidneys
Should
still.
have checked her for scars, dude. You're right there.
That's what I was just thinking. We should have checked for scars.
I was really hoping that y'all didn't know anything about like kidney failure or like, medical stuff like
I'm
that.
sitting here thinking, how in the fuck does a tooth do that? But you never know.
I do. I got a high school education. Riley, that's why I'm horrible at this podcast. You can lie to me all day. So
yeah, so my kidney actually it started to fail because I got extremely dehydrated. How to this day I still don't know.
Right.
But they just pumped me with some IVs, some sugar water, and I was good in the next couple days. The only thing that I could keep down was, for some reason, peanut butter banana smoothies that my mom made. Yeah, so
nice.
If you ever want a peanut butter banana smoothie, you know who to hit up.
Go look T-Money up. Yeah, that's man. I'm telling you, I am not. 2023 is not the year of the moose on this damn podcast.
Man, I was doing good until you started bragging about how good I was doing. Now I'm sucking ass
it's how I stick it to the man, bro. So Chromebook conundrum. That's actually a true story.
Yes. 20 hours of community service.
Oh, I get it. When I told you last podcast, we broke into high school and we got busted. I was a senior class president, so I got to walk with my class, but I wasn't able to give the speech at the graduation. I lost a lot of stuff. And we had to do that, Riley. And the janitors who ended up cleaning our mess up were the ones that got to pick out our jobs. Yeah, Jason Moss got to sweep the high school parking lot with a broom. Yeah, that's what he did for a week straight, yeah. A bunch of us had to go to the ag shop, move everything from one side to the other, clean it, move that back over here, do that again, and clean it. Nothing in that ag shop is any lighter than Thor's fucking hammer, by the way. It's
in the ag shop, everything's metal and welded.
And I don't know how I drew this shit stick, but that's me and Connor McMillan. What's up, C-Man? So, no, I get it. It's tough. It's hard, especially when you get stuff like you got taken away from you. Mm-hmm. That kind of, I think that's
and
a bit,
as a senior too,
right?
So
right. I mean, I understand they're trying to prove a point. I don't know. I'm torn on it.
I feel like it didn't need to be that excessive.
Yeah, I
but
agree.
The 20 hours of community service wasn't even that bad because that's when we had the Sands and we got to do community service together.
Nice.
So
nice. See, I agree with the community service. I agree with punishing you in certain ways. But things that you've earned, let you have it.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So, and then Tootsie Roller Coaster, our pick is actually a true story.
Yeah. I actually was in bed before 12 a.m. that night.
Been there.
And from that day, I swore to never eat a Tootsie Roll from a stranger again.
Yeah. Those once again, our last podcast talked about edibles too, so they're powerful, man. Those things are they're fucking mean, dude. It's like dabs. Have you ever been around people who are dabbing?
Oh yeah.
Have you, Adam?
No.
They smoke it like crack, man. Pierre Carrillo, what's up, P? He did it when I had the Juggernaut Brothers podcast. I was at his house in Denver, and we had the podcast. He was doing it in front of me, and I think when I left, I think I might have been a touch high, because. But man, those things. If you got to have a tolerance. If you're in a dab, because it will change your life, dude. It's nuts. So that's crazy, man. Well, good job, Reiley. You kicked our ass. I didn't see that one. I thought that was true for sure.
Yeah, me too.
So your birthday, you went to Las Vegas.
I did.
Your first trip there. What'd you think?
It was hot.
Well, yeah, it's in the desert, kid.
That was my first. I don't know why I didn't think about that until like later, but 112 degrees of dry heat was too much for me. And I love summer. I'm a big heat person.
Right.
I hate winter. That was too much, though.
So, but every air-conditioned casino, man, is chill, chill as hell, man.
Yeah.
Where did you guys stay in New York?
Yep.
Did you enjoy it? It was pretty cool?
I did. It was really cool in there. The way they, like, have everything separated into, like, different, I don't know, things in New York.
Yeah.
That's really
cool. Like the boroughs, maybe?
Yeah.
The boroughs
Yes. That's exactly, It's really neat. The Statue of Liberty outside, was it wearing a jersey?
No. Come
hockey season, the Knights.
The Golden Knights.
They have a big Golden Knights jersey and unfortunately a Raiders jersey in football season. So I've never been close enough to pee on it, but someday, my friends, I will pee on that Raiders jersey.
The last time I was in Vegas, it had the Raiders jersey on because I was there in November.
Disgusting.
So
it's disgusting. What was your favorite thing that you went to go check out?
The Coke store.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're a Coca-Cola fan.
The Coke store. Yeah. I don't know why. I just... something about it just really...
It's neat.
Got me.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. That big-ass Coke bottle in the front, yeah.
See, the M&M store, it's always been hyped up my whole life.
Right.
Like, my mom, my dad, they've all been there multiple times. They come back with these things with our names on them, our pictures, something. I go in there and I'm like... Meh. Like, it's not that cool.
Right.
Like, You
went to Fat Tuesdays, though, right?
I did not. No. We ended up walking down some of the strip, and we just got one of those bones.
Oh, yeah.
We had the guy, so the first drink we got, we had him just make us something, because, we didn't really know what to get.
Sure.
And he was like, is it okay if I make it with tequila? And I went to Mexico 2 years ago. And ever since that trip, I could not handle tequila. Yeah. But I was like, you know what? Yeah.
Fuck it. Put it in.
Put it in there.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm rocking one kidney. I don't give a shit. Let's do it.
Yeah. And so he makes it. I drink it. All I can taste is a tequila. Yeah. And I can't drink it anymore. Yeah. I'm like, this. And I took my friend Olivia with me. And I was like, you got this one. Yeah. I was like, you've got to drink all of this, and then we can go get another one. And hopefully I enjoy that one, but...
You don't drink? Did you go to Fat Tuesdays when you were down there? So they make all the slushy drinks?
Right.
They have one called the 190 Octane.
Yep.
Octane 190. And I told Reiley, don't drink that fucking drink, right? That's the one that made me fall down on the little sky bridge and no one was around. So it kind of kicked my ass. It's Everclear. And they take a test tube with Everclear and dump it upside down in it, and it soaks in as you go. I slug it because I'm telling my new friend I've met that I'm trying to impress, I'm no pussy. I can do that. And then it turns out I might be kind of a pussy because I fell down. So I'm talking to Dana just now before the podcast, and I'm like, yeah, did Reiley go down? And she's all, oh, I got one of those. And I go, well, I didn't get you close soon enough. I should have warned you, don't drink the 190 Octane, man. Don't drink the Octane 190. They're delicious, but you'll lose days, man. So, did you check out anything else? Did you go on the roller coasters or anything?
We did go on the roller coaster at the New York. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I was very surprised at how much fun I had on that roller coaster.
Did you Oh, sorry.
The line was extremely long, though.
Of course.
It was.
Of course.
We timed it. How long the ride was? 3 minutes. We stood in that line for an hour.
No, that's not horrible, though.
That's not that bad.
Yeah. Did you go to the Stratosphere?
No.
Okay, next time you go, they have rides up top that I won't touch because this guy's the daredevil between the two of us. But me, fuck that. I ain't doing any of that shit. They have one that's an arm, and it goes, the Stratosphere is the big Space Needle, right? Mm-hmm. It goes over the edge, and it starts spinning, so it goes up like this. So you're like this, and you move up, so you're staring straight down.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no.
I mean.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no. No. Aaron Goff and I were there because Alan got sick. And they have one that it's a roller coaster. It goes to the end and it does this. And
I've seen that one. I want to do that one.
Yeah, you're out of your mind. And Aaron's like, "This don't look too bad." I go, "Up, you are. We're not that good of friends. I'm not going on that with you. I love you, but not that much. So that's The next time if you want to do that stuff, that's the place to go.
Yeah.
So pretty crazy. Yeah. Well, man, Reiley, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Were you nervous?
No.
No? Yeah, you've been around this quite a bit, though, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. It was cocky, but copy.
Yeah.
You want to know why?
What?
Because she slaps.
Yep.
Hell yeah, I do.
Thanks again, Riley. I appreciate it.
Yes.
I'm Moose Lundstrom.
I'm Adam Vokey.
Hey, till next time. Peace.